Hello everyone, M9 here. This is my lovely girlfriend.
The lovely girlfriend.
Veronica. And we decided to make, or maybe start, a series of videos for the movie reviews we always do. Or I always do.
He always does. I just input little ideas and I do my part.
As soon as we, she does. As soon as we get out of the movie theater, she's usually driving. Yeah. Why am I gonna lie? I write down a review, and I usually post it on social media, such as Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. And some of my friends have come to rely on it to save them money. You know, money that I've already spent. But it's cool. It's cool. So, actually, we decided to start doing this, and the first movie that we're going to review that we just watched.
It's so fresh in the mind.
Yeah.
In the memory.
Actually, I'm already starting to forget about it.
Let's hurry up and do this.
The movie was called It Follows. Title was kind of
self-explanatory.
Self-explanatory. It didn't take a lot of thought on that one.
And before we start reviewing, there's gonna be many spoilers. So if you don't want to see the movie, watch this. But if you want to see the movie and you want to enjoy it before you listen to our review and our spoilers,
or if you've already seen the movie,
right? Because we're gonna talk about it. Right?
Yeah. And so, as the title states, somewhere along here, I don't know where they put the title anymore on YouTube, but this is a spoiler review. We're going to talk about everything that we saw in the movie. We're going to talk about what we liked, what we didn't like, what we felt could have been improved, what confused us, or whatever comes to mind. We're just going to have a discussion here and hope you guys enjoy it. So, let's start with something that came up almost instantly as we left the movie theater, was the soundtrack. The way the music worked in the movie, it was different. It was really different. And
I personally, I didn't like it. Because we've had this discussion before. Like, if you hear the soundtrack, like, in the background of the movie, to me, if it stands out, it bothers. Mm-hmm. So if I notice it, it's something that right away I told him, like, I don't like this. And he was like...
Yeah, like through the movie. She was the one person talking through the movie.
No, it wasn't.
No, it was the people behind us. They were getting on my nerves. Anyway, the soundtrack did bother me somewhat. And I wouldn't even say soundtrack. I would say the score. Because it wasn't the soundtrack. It didn't even have a soundtrack.
No, it didn't.
But... let's say the score, that's what kind of threw us off a little bit. And in the beginning, I was like, what is going on? I actually almost thought that there was just something wrong in the beginning. But
it was very, like, retro. Like,
it was
80s.
retro. It was retro.
I would say 80s.
Which we're also going to get into a little bit later.
Yeah.
Because, anyway, me personally, I got hooked on the sound. And in the beginning, I was like, I don't like it. But then I was like, holy crap, this is awesome. Like, the sound was as weird as the movie. And it kept my heart just, like, beating. Like, every time the music came on, I was like, oh shit, something's about to happen.
Like, I agree with that. With that part, like, it did add to, like, you know, what was going on, the ambiance. But at first, you're kind of like... Really?
Yeah.
It's loud.
Because it's a little different, like kind of classic. Let's say classic. Yeah. The way that it was, you know, like scary movies back in the day. They're like, and you know, the weird sounds, like not just like suspenseful sounds.
Right. Okay, so then you want to start like from the beginning to like the parts that.
Well, let's go over what we liked.
Okay, I liked that it was creepy as all hell. Like. You were at the edge of your seat. We kept saying that. We were like at the edge of our seats. Yeah. We were on our tippy of our toes.
My blood pressure was just...
No bueno. But it was very creepy. The creepy factor was very good because obviously, like, you're expecting something to happen. You're expecting something to show up. And you know it's like supernatural. Like, it's something that, it's not a person. It's something that's following her.
Right.
It follows her. So I like that about the movie a lot, actually. I enjoyed that.
I personally, the creepy factor was just awesome. Yeah. It takes a lot for me to be creeped out, and it's just because I'm kind of a twisted soul in a way. But it's not hard to scare me if I'm in the right mood. And this movie put me in the right mood just because of what it brought to the table. It was a supernatural thing,
right,
entity, but it didn't feel like something. Like it almost felt like a murderer in a way.
Right.
Like it was just combined in a way that it felt real.
It messed with your mind.
It messed with your mind,
and it wasn't gory. Like it didn't have to be gory.
Yeah, it wasn't actually gory at all.
No.
Except for the beginning with the leg.
Oh God.
I don't know. If you're watching this review and you saw the opening scene, can explain to me what the hell happened with that leg thing? It was awesome. I was like, oh my God.
That was weird. It was different. I was like, okay.
And there was somebody in the audience that was like, oh, one of those ratchets.
One of the ratchets.
But anyway, one thing that I did like about the movie, like I said, is the creepy factor. It was creepy as all hell. Another thing that I enjoyed, I would have to say the acting. The acting was okay.
Yeah, it was pretty natural for.
Yeah, it took me a little bit to warm up to the main character, like we discussed.
Yeah.
But eventually I got over it, and I was into each character.
What's her name? I don't even know her name.
I don't know. It follows.
Micah. Girl, I don't know. Micah Monroe. I don't even know who she is.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Like
but I didn't really recognize anybody in the movie, but it was good. It was good.
And the cinematography, we can talk about cinematography.
Yeah, that's another thing we enjoyed.
Yeah, to me, I thought it was more shot like an indie film.
It
was.
We
were talking about like some shots that like it stayed focused on like certain things, and we were like, why? But maybe they just didn't need an explanation.
Right. And we'll get into that in the dislikes. There were some things that we... What? But the cinematography, it was awesome. There were some 360 shots in there that were just freaking amazing. It took us from one point of view to another in one smooth shot, and showing two completely different things. And there was actually some things that I believe personally that they did to throw us off.
Right.
To and I thought that was cool. I was like, hey, fool me once, fool me twice.
Fool me a lot.
You fooled me a couple of times.
So when it starts off, we find out from the beginning that you have to sleep with somebody to pass it on.
That was different.
That was weird. It was kind of like, do you remember, what was it, The Grudge? Like, if you watch this video, you'll die in 7 days type of thing.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of like, but if you give it to somebody else, they'll die, and you kind of pass that.
Yeah, that's, and I mean, obviously, if you're still watching, that means you watched the movie or you don't care. Right. But, yeah, the fact that you had to sleep with somebody, and that was kind of weird. It was interesting, though. It was something that... It
was kind of different about that. So, from the beginning, you don't know what to expect. So once you find that out in the creepiest way with the guy, like, how he tied her up, and he wanted to show to her, like, he wanted to prove to her that it was real, that he wasn't making it up. So
the first guy wasn't a total dick. He was a dick for what he did.
Well, he was trying to, like, make sure that it didn't come back to him, like how it
right,
would,
right.
Her.
Later in the movie, we realized that she kind of fucks her way out of the...
We can say the curse.
The curse?
Or whatever.
Shall we say the curse? We just said the curse. The curse that was laid upon her.
Oh
Get it?
God.
Laid.
Ew.
Anyway, she fucks her way out of it by passing it to somebody else.
Yeah.
However, it's not very smart if you don't explain it to that person so that they can take care of themselves or that they can pass it on to someone else. I didn't like that.
It's so messed up, though. Like, if you think about it, like...
It is messed up.
Pissed. I'd be like, what the hell? Like, how she was, like, she didn't know, and, like, you kind of feel bad for her.
That has to be the worst kind of STD ever.
You get, like, a...
Sexually transmitted death.
Maybe this is like all like a metaphor, like don't sleep around hoes.
It is.
Don't do it. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
What
Throughout
I think
in the movie theater, I actually stated a couple times I'm not having a daughter, because all these girls in these movies are sluts, and they're.
Oh, and the guy even said that he was like, "Oh, it should be easier for you because you're a girl."
You're a girl.
I was like, this bitch.
But that's because a girl just kind of says, "Hey," and guys are stupid. Guys are like, "Sure, hey, pass that shit on to me. I don't care."
Okay. Anyways, back to the movie. Focus.
Anyway, let's. I don't know how long this is going for, but
20 minutes.
Moving on.
Moving on
Something that we disliked was certain things in the movie that. Why? I mean, I don't know how else to say it. Why are you showing us this? What the hell is the meaning behind it?
Dragged out. Some scenes I felt were like dragged out, unnecessary, like lengthy.
Yes.
Like some sex scenes, okay, they were lengthy. Okay, we get it. You're having sex. I get it. But like, you know, like the whole part, like with him.
Yeah, when they're sitting around waiting and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like, we get it.
like,
We get it. You're waiting for the thing to fucking come.
And it's awkward.
That's fine.
So,
and it's awkward, yeah. We do get it. I did find myself thinking that a couple of times, several times. Let's fucking move on.
Let's do it.
Let's move.
I mean,
no, let's not do it because then one of us will die.
I mean, not that. But
Did we not learn anything today?
Let's move around. Let's do it. I don't know. We're somewhere else. Get some clothes on. I don't know.
Get some clothes on.
Whatever.
And if you haven't noticed, we're wearing awesome The Walking Dead shirts that has nothing to do with anything. But yeah, certain things as the shot with she was laying little pieces of grass on her leg, and she was, I don't know, she was kind of counting them for some reason. I had no idea what the hell that was for, and I actually looked into that scene. Like, it took me away from the movie, and it had me analyze it. And you had me analyze that for fucking nothing.
Yeah, because what was the reason behind it? No one knows.
No one knows. And then there was another scene where the freaking camera panned, which was kind of cool. And it did like a crotch shot, but it was more towards the knees, and she was like squeezing her knees nervously, and then they were kind of focusing on the legs or you know, her hands.
It was just weird.
Why?
It was just unnecessary.
There were several scenes throughout the movie that made you think about them, and they had nothing to do with anything. And maybe again, maybe it was to throw us off. Maybe it was, but I could have done without them. Yeah. So overall,
you gave it like a 3 out of 5, right?
I gave it a 3 out of 5. And that was pretty much because the rewatchability is just not there.
That's the thing we were talking about. Like, me personally, I wouldn't want to watch it ever again just because of the creepy factor. Just because I know how creepy it is. But, no, I'm not. Because I like scary movies. You know, but there's some scary movies that I'm like, like that, I don't know, they're kind of weird. So this is a kind of weird one like that. Like, I think to me, like, this goes in the category for me, like, Sinister. Mm-hmm. Sinister was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, to me, I couldn't sleep that night the first time we saw it. I was flipping my shit. It's kind of like that. But, like, it's not that bad to me, but
yeah,
it's one of those movies.
I understand. But to me, the rewatchability is just not there, and it's mostly because it's not fun.
There was, like, one funny part.
There was one funny part that was completely random also, which I loved. This movie is a scary movie. And, out of nowhere, they make us laugh with this scene. I just didn't have fun. I enjoyed the movie, but I don't see myself watching it again. Maybe in 10 years, maybe in 5 or 10 years, when I just forgot about it. And then I was like, hey, remember that movie when we watched that? That was our first review. Do you remember that? We should watch that. That's what we're gonna say. And then we're gonna be like, no, what we should have done was watch our review. And be like, no,
it's not worth it. The movie. Okay, well, pretty much the end leaves us like a little open, not open-ended, but okay, so eventually the girl sleeps with like a couple guys or whatever, and then she ends up sleeping with one of her best friends, and then, or whatever, one of her guy friends, and then the guy friend sleeps with a prostitute. So then...
Or does he?
Or we don't know because they don't show him, so we don't know. But anyway, either way, our theory is that like eventually the thing keeps catching up to them because they're not explaining themselves correctly. So when they sleep with someone, the thing that follows kills that person. So then once that person dies, it goes back to the original person. So it kept getting like, I guess, passed back to them because they never really explained how it was explained to the girl. So at the end, we're spoiling the crap out of this. So again, we're spoiling things. At the end, we see the main girl and her friend walking, and we see someone in the background walking behind them. But we don't know if that's like it following them, or if it's just like somebody walking.
And not it, the clown, it, the monster in the movie.
It, the thing that followed. But there's another cool thing that I liked about it. Well, okay, whatever. It was creepy because it turned into things or people. Remember how the guy, he explained that it turned into somebody you might know, somebody you love,
a stranger.
A stranger.
So it tries to catch you off guard.
Yeah.
But obviously you know that because you already watched the movie.
Yeah.
I hope. 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5.
And I mean, it was okay for what it was. I enjoyed it.
Right.
I don't know about this whole rave that is getting about it being one of the best movies in the decade, best scary movies in the decade.
We suggest Redbox it.
I suggest Redbox it.
Yeah. Let's do that. We should have done that. When I walked out of the theater, I said, "Babe, we never learn."
We never learn. I actually didn't mind it though. I didn't mind watching it in theaters just because of the sound and the creepy value. I think I would have actually enjoyed it less watching it at home.
I think I would have enjoyed it more because you're at home and you're creeped out.
Agree to disagree.
But that's it, right?
Anyway, yeah, that is it. So thank you guys for watching our first movie review and of what's hopefully more to come. But you know, I mean, we're not rich, so
here's hoping. Yeah.
So yeah, till next time.
Bye.